This podcast is for anyone tired of sitting on the couch watching fucking Netflix. For anyone who wants to know how to break the 9-to-5 slave life. For anyone who wants to be better tomorrow than they are today. I want to help you learn how to break the cycle. This is your story, and you have to write it. Come on in. We're just getting started. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Getting Started podcast. I'm your host, as always, Sean Bussard, and I'm here with the amazing Alpha Underdog himself, Mr. Zachary Babcock. What's up, brother? How are you today?
Dude, Sean, thanks for having me, man. This is pretty cool. We've been talking for a little minute. Love the intro too, man, because I say that exact wording all the time, and the fact that you paid attention to the detail is pretty cool.
Brother, man, when I first heard about you and first started listening to the Underdog Empowerment, man, that was one thing that kind of struck a chord with me, man. And dude, you've done it. You've gone from being that nobody, fuck up, loser, nothing, to being the ultimate alpha underdog. I mean, I don't know anybody else whose story is anything like yours. And we're going to touch on that here in just a little bit, man. But first, I want to thank you, man, because we had this scheduled back in, I think, like February for you to come on the show. And then with some technical difficulties, and I couldn't get it to record, had to postpone it. And then as fate would have it, you went on another podcast worldwide tour. And here you are, man. So thanks for coming back on the show, man, and give me another opportunity to get you on here, man. I've been looking forward to it. So let's dive right into it, man. Just real quick. Oh, something in my eye here. Just real quick, man. Give us kind of a little summarization of your story. I've heard your story 100 times. I know that a lot of my audience has probably heard it, but let's just kind of tap into it just a little bit and give everybody a little refresher on you.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll give a super high-level overview, Cliff Notes version. If you want to dive in deeper, that's always cool too. But dude, I did over 5 years of my life in prison for being an idiot, for lack of words, making poor decisions, not having any chief aim in life, and I did 4 years flat, got out for 2 years, and then I went back 20 days before my twin sons were born. And Sean, that was it. You know, that was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. I said, I'm done. I didn't know how I was going to be happy and successful and a responsible father, but I knew that's what I wanted, and I knew why that was important to me. And ever since then, I've just been moving in a completely different direction, and now we're scaling a 6-figure podcast marketing agency, and we're just giving this all we got, man.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. I know you kind of came from a little bit of the same background I did. You know, you had drugs and partying and chasing women and all this craziness going on. So I'm always glad to see somebody that comes from that kind of background and can actually break through and not just become another statistic, because I'm sure you've kind of had the same thing as I got, man. I've got a lot of friends that I lost to that whole lifestyle, and, you know, peace be to their souls and all that. But, you know, there are a few of us that actually were fortunate enough to make it out of that and break through. And I want to congratulate you on that, for one. And obviously you have done incredible things. One thing that I've always been curious about, man, you know, you when you first got out of prison, you talk a lot about you went into network marketing or MLMs, and you couldn't be afraid. You couldn't be scared by the term pyramid scheme, anything like that. And I kind of got involved with that myself once upon a time. I'm not going to get too much into that right now. It was a bad decision on my part. But my question is, what took you from network marketing and multi-level marketing into podcasting? What was that? What was it that drew you into the podcasting that made you think that you could possibly have like a successful business with podcasting?
Yeah, dude. Well, there's a little bit gap in between, because I didn't go straight from network marketing to podcasting. I did network marketing I got right into that, like you mentioned, right when I got out of prison. It was my first opportunity. Super grateful for it. No longer in it. Wasn't my thing, but man, it taught me a lot. And it was really eye-opening. There's a lot of great things that came from it, but at the end of the day, it wasn't my thing. And, you know, I don't really jam with the whole network marketing. It's just not me. But then I wanted to be a coach, wanted to be a life coach. And I didn't know anything about marketing at the time. And so, like, I would say things like, I'll help you achieve your goals, or I'll help you whatever. And nobody's going to buy that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to speak to a very specific type of person, most likely who you were yesterday, or yesterday, or just starting out, or anywhere in between. But you don't know that in the beginning. And I didn't know that in the beginning. I struggled. So I wasn't making any money. This went on for over a year. Then I started business coaching because one of my friends said, like, oh, entrepreneurs, they pay for that. But I'm broke as fuck, and I had no business being a business coach. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm being a fraud, and the imposter syndrome, all that shit's going wild. And then I just remember, dude, how I got into podcasting specifically, dude. Anytime I tried to collaborate with any entrepreneur, like I'm talking about any of them, like anybody just in the trenches like me, nobody took me seriously, man. They laughed at me. I was just the ex-convict turned entrepreneur afterthought. I was a joke to them, you know, and that shit pissed me off, dude. And it was out of that pain and frustration that I decided to launch Underdog Empowerment Podcast. 3 days later, after launching, we got it ranked on Apple. A week after that, we had Billie Jean as marketing on the show. And then we just been blowing it up for the past 2.5 years since. And it's crazy, though, because literally in a matter of a week, went from nobody giving me a chance to interviewing celebrities, and literally in 1 week. And then a year after launching the podcast, became a 6-figure business owner. So I can go in deeper. I don't want to talk your ear off. I like to have, I don't know if you ever had guests on where they just go and talk forever. And you're like, dude, I just asked you, why can't we just have a conversation, you know? But yeah, there's how I actually came into business is a different story though, too.
Oh, really? What was it that kind of brought your interest into podcasting, man? Like, was it just something that you kind of like went off on a whim? That was like, let me try this podcast thing and see like who I can work with or who I can talk to or whatever? Or was it just, did somebody give you the idea to do it? Was it something you came up with on your own or?
Yeah, dude. So at the time, and it's funny because like I literally, even though ClickFunnels is a superior product than the Lead Pages product that I use now, the funnel, the actual software is actually better currently than Lead Pages. I literally moved all my shit off of ClickFunnels to Lead Pages just because the community in ClickFunnels is gag. It makes me gag. It's like, you guys are fucking disgusting. You're fucking pathetic. And I can't jam with those people. Not all of them, but over 90% of that fucking funnel hacker community is fucking garbage. Yeah, I said it. It's on air. Come at me, bro. But
hey, it is what it is, man.
It is, man, and they're pathetic, dude. Like the whole. And I'm going off on a tangent here, but it hits a hot button. But the whole, oh, you don't have to be. You can be an expert. You just got to be a chapter ahead of them, just like in the movie Catch Me If You Can. Well, check this out. The dude in that movie, he got in trouble and went to prison because he was a fraud. And I'm not trying to be a fraud. And I've been to prison. I ain't going back. Fuck that. I'd rather master something. I'd rather instead of trying to be some flash in the pan, some bitch ass weak motherfucker, I'd rather take the time and develop a true and master a true valuable skill that's tangible and valuable to the marketplace, and become a master of it, and develop my character and skills. Develop the shit out of them. That's going to take a little bit of time. But then when I come into the marketplace to play, I'm going to dominate everything in my path. I'd rather take the long route, you know? So, I don't even know how I got into it. How did I, podcast, my bad, bro.
That's cool,
so
bro.
anyways, though, at the time though, this was in 2017 or no, this was in, 2018. I heard I was in the, Funnel Hacks Masterclass going through everything, just learning all the shit I can learn about marketing, all this stuff. And Russell Brunson, and by the way, Russell Brunson, he's a genius marketer. I can like read people really good, and I just feel like he's a slimy motherfucker, but he's a genius marketer, very, very smart. And I'd say that shit to his face too. I wouldn't give a fuck. But I was going through his masterclass, and in one of his modules, he was giving this example of this guy that was having a hard time networking with people, and he wasn't getting things going off the ground. There was opportunities were slim, and then he said he launched his podcast show, and then just opened up all these doors, and he had all these ins with all these very influential people, and it just kept leading to speaking opportunity, to interviewing celebrities, to his audience getting excited, growing his audience. And I'm like, fuck, I'm doing it, dude. Because at the time I was doing YouTube for, dude, it was going on 2 years. I put out 3 videos consistently every single week, didn't miss a single upload for almost 2 years at that time. And I was putting off the podcast. I was like, I prefer video or whatever. But I heard that story. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot because that's how I'm feeling right now. Nobody's taking me seriously as an entrepreneur, and so I launched it. And so glad I did, man, because it was true. It was crazy how that played out, man.
Awesome, man. Now, how did you go about getting Billie Jean, like one of the all-time marketing guru geniuses, to be one of like your first like major guests? Like, is that something that you kind of worked real hard on to go about, or would you just kind of reach out and like on a whim, hey, Billie Jean, man, you want to come on the show and like talk about shit? Or
Yeah, man. So I'll tell you exactly how I did it. And it's crazy. And I just had him on my show recently, brought him back on. And it's cool because you get to build those relationships with these powerful people with a podcast. But I had reached out to him like twice prior to collaborate with him, and nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could tell, he left me on scene. People can read your Facebook messages, and then you see if they open it but don't respond or whatever. And he didn't hit me back. And then I got the podcast ranked, and then I hit him up and said, Billy, I just got my podcast ranked in the top 100 on Apple, man. You're a perfect fit for my show. Can we make this happen? He opened it up, like immediately opened up because he must have been by his phone. And then he replied back immediately with his assistant's email. I'm not going to give it out on the podcast, obviously, with his assistant email, and said, hit her up. She got my schedule. And then next week we had him on. So it was literally just having a top rated podcast and pitching people. Most people are scared to pitch the celebrity types, and that's why a main reason why they don't get them. But if you got a podcast, you don't even have to have it ranked. You can still get people landed on it. Just by having it ranked, it makes it a lot easier to get top level people booked.
awesome, man. That's an excellent tip, man. I'll have to keep that one in mind for myself now.
Hell yeah.
So, man, you've been doing the podcast thing for a while, man. Just kind of, how did you take it from being sort of a hobby and turning it into a six-figure business? Because obviously that's how it started out, was as a hobby, so you could collaborate and work with these other influencers and individuals. At some point, you had to make the decision that this is going to be more than a hobby. I've got to monetize this. I've got to make this my business. And how did you go from like point A to point B on that?
Yeah, well, it was never a hobby. I mean, it is a hobby in a sense of it was never a hobby. I enjoy doing it like I would enjoy a hobby. I'm passionate about it, but it was business first and foremost right out the gate. It just wasn't successful business-wise right out the gate. Like it put my brand on the map as far as getting ranked right away and being able to get in there with speakers, like our speakers, very influential people, celebrity types, and then getting speaking engagements and stuff. And I was starting to generate affiliate revenue through the podcast, but I still hadn't put my finger. I wasn't growing my downloads astronomically. Like I was still kind of stuck between the 1,000 to 2,000 downloads a month for a year. Couldn't figure that part out for a year until I finally broke through. But a lot of opportunities opened right out the gate, and I still hadn't put my finger on the specific problem that I saw for a specific person, so I wasn't crushing it with money. I was making at the time $200 to $800 a month that first year through all the different sources that I had of affiliate income, mostly a bunch of different affiliate incomes from different companies, and then other things like speaking and shit like that. But it wasn't nothing to write home about. And so, how did I make that transition into like making podcasting a business? It was two things. It was sheer determination of and grind, and of like, man, I don't care what we got to do. We're going to make this dream a reality. And also dumb luck. Dumb luck played a huge part in it too. So I got invited to speak out at Marshall Gillen's event in San Diego in 2019, of January of 2019. And we went out there and I spoke, and it was a small mastermind group, and I spoke. And the first day it was cool. And then he came up afterwards. He's like, hey man, can you come on tomorrow and just talk about podcasts? I'm like, yeah, dude, for sure. And so I came up the next day, talked about podcasts, and everybody's eyes was just lighting up, right? And they're asking questions and stuff. And I'm like, dude, my sons are literally just blowing up my phone. They're home, so like it's on vibrate, but I just feel it like vibrating the whole time. I'm like, dude,
A little
they're
bit of
sick.
awkward there feeling, huh?
Yeah, well, it just kept on going. Like, dude, come on. It's like distracting in a sense. So I'm sitting here trying to tell a story. It's funny though. They're the six. By the way, real quick, we took them out yesterday. I gave them a $50 because they want to do a lemonade stand. So I gave them a $50 loan to start their business with 3% interest. Went and got all the supplies, set up shop. They paid back the $51.50 and made a $63 profit in less than 2 hours. Crushed it. Sales, marketing, operations, and finance all together in one slot. They might be hiring HR and a legal department and customer service support here pretty soon too.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. I saw your post about that, and I was like, man, that is absolutely amazing, man. It's great to see other parents teaching their kids, the right way to do shit. And a lot of parents out there, they don't take that firsthand, that active initiative with their kids anymore. They do a lot of YouTube raising and a lot of TV raising and stuff like that. And man, I love seeing the fact that you're taking that active step and helping them grow up, not to just be productive members of society, but to be true dominators of whatever it is they decide to do.
Go out and create whatever life you want to create, whatever it is you want. Just don't lose that enthusiasm and go out and do it. Yeah, man. Thanks, bro. But yeah, man, I was at Marshall's. He asked me to come on, speak about podcasts, and everybody's eyes lighting up. They're asking questions, like a 20-person mastermind, give or take a few people. And I'm sitting there thinking like, man, I might have something here. And I never realized, I didn't know that what I knew about podcasting was so valuable, for one. And also I didn't know that other people didn't know it. When you're in the day-to-day of your business, it's like being in a bottle, and you can't read the label on the outside of the bottle because you're stuck inside. And that's exactly what it was going on with me. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I put together the offer. This was in January. And then I released it in early March of 2019. It was about exactly a month and a week later, because it was the end of January when we went out to San Diego. And it slapped hard, man. Dude, 11K that first month. To me at that time, like, that was like, oh my God, I've never seen so much money in my life. I was like, it was crazy, and it was awesome, man. And we just hunkered down. Like, I knew I hit my sweet spot there, because I was like, man, now I don't feel cheesy about this shit. Like, I've actually done this shit, and that I'm talking about. And this is shit that I really am passionate about anyways. And so all I got to do is just continue to dominate with my podcast and show people what I'm doing and what I'm learning. That's it.
Awesome, man. Let's kind of take a step back a little bit, man. You talked about, you're only making $600, $800 a month, with the podcast. What were some of those first initial ways you started monetizing the podcast? I know you talked about affiliate marketing and, different companies you had relationships with and sponsorships with, man. For somebody that's out there just kind of getting started in the podcasting world, what kind of ideas could you give them and tips could you give them as far as being able to get that initial monetization going on?
Yeah. I'll show you the one, I'll show you a couple of them, but, the one way that I was doing it that I shouldn't have been doing it, I'll share with you. And then also, right out the gate, whether you're just starting out and you haven't figured out your offer yet, and if you're not making 10K or more per month already, you probably haven't really dialed in your offer yet. All right. And so if you're at that point in the beginner phase, trying to figure that out, which there's nothing wrong, we all got to go through that phase, right? You should definitely be doing affiliate marketing. And if you are at the 10K more or month, you should still be doing affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing should be a staple of every podcaster's business. That's my firm belief. All right. That's a firm belief of mine. And the reason why, it's such a powerful income tool. It's another powerful revenue stream. And the reason why, dude, just think about it. You're recommending products that are a perfect fit for your audience that you serve, that are a perfect fit for them, these products are already proven in the marketplace. They're already converting. They're already been proven, or else they wouldn't be out there. You know what I mean? So, and that's not always the case, but you go out and find the right ones, right? That are a perfect fit for your audience. And you do it by just recommending products that you only use yourself. All right? I don't recommend shit I don't use, period. Just because it has a cool commission, I'm not going to recommend it unless I got a story with it. That's just how I roll. You got some of the slimy ones do it. But here's the game on affiliate marketing. Focus on win-win-wins. You got to create win-win-wins. You got to create a win for your audience. You got to create a win for the company that you're promoting, and you got to create a win for you. So how do you do that? You create the win by only recommending products that's really going to help your audience out, and you recommend it to them. that's a win for them because you're introducing them to something that can help them reach their goals. Then you help and you also can lock in promo codes and special discounts and shit with the companies. Like I do it all the time, where I'll get a promo code for two. If you go to TubeBuddy, it's a browser, a Chrome browser extension that helps you rank your YouTube videos and a whole bunch of other shit. Right, it's pretty badass. I got a promo code for that. If you go to TubeBuddy and buy it with the promo code Underdog Buddy, you get 20% off. Like that shit right there. I locked it in with Phil Starkovich, the CEO. Had him come on the podcast. Say, hey man, for anybody that goes through my link, can we give them a special incentive only to my audience that gets a special promo code for that? And he's like, yeah. And so we did that. So that's a win for my audience because now they're getting something that's helping them reach their goals at a discount by going through me. So that's one way. And then the company's obviously getting a win because you're helping them make a sale. And then you're getting a win because you're getting a commission. That's a win-win-win right there. Sorry for long-witted answer. Like there's a lot more nuance to it as far as like how do you do affiliate marketing. But I did affiliate marketing and really dialed that in and was doing like 200 to 800 a month. Give or take, it's volatile. It's going to go up and down. There's going to be churn and shit that happens and new people that come on. But dude, if you focus on that right out the gate, it's a long-term play. You're not going to be banking right out the gate. But if you keep on doing it, dude, look at John Lee Dumas and Pat Flynn and whatnot. And my affiliate income is nowhere near them, but it is a lot more than what it was when I first started, dude. So the sooner, the better affiliate income. I was making also money though. And it's cool if I give this last quick story and then I'll shut up.
Go for it, man. Go for it, man. I love it, man.
Right on. I just, I've been podcast for a while and I've had a lot of guests that just talk forever. And I'm like, dude, let's just jam, bro. No,
man, it's works up, man. I'm still getting started. I mean, I've been at this for, a little over a year now. And I'm still, in my mind, I'm still just getting started, man. I'm still just cranking it out. I'm still hungry to learn, man. Every time I bring somebody on the show, it's somebody new that I can learn something new from. So, man, the more you've got to give, the more I'm willing to sit here and listen. And I know my audience out there, they're out there looking to get started. They're looking to break that 9-to-5 slave life. So I know they're hungry to hear what you got to say as well, man.
Oh yeah, dude. So affiliate marketing, if that's mainly your audience, and you're just figuring out, dude, do that immediately, and start your podcast and focus on growing. Because the reason why you're not making big bank off of affiliate marketing in the beginning is because you don't have a huge audience. You got to focus on growing your audience. You know what I mean? And the more you focus on growing your audience, the more you'll make, the more money you'll make. If that's your goal is to make money, focus on growing a huge audience that's your people that you can help, and then the money will follow that. But yeah, man, another way though is a guy reached out to me, and this was a huge lesson. This is really good for you if you're listening right now and just trying to escape that 9-to-5 life. I got approached by a guy because I was blowing up with the podcast. But I saw when making the money, and he's like, dude, I got a program. We have over 20 million and did over 20 million in revenue and over 1,000 successful graduates. It's on lead gen, customer acquisition, and scaling a business. Why don't we repurpose this? It's a proven program, and we repurpose it and put it out there to your audience. I'm like, bet, let's do it. Let's go. I'm trying to learn and trying to make this happen and break through, right? And so we did it, and we were bringing people through, and we were actually having people coming through the program. But I felt like a maggot. I felt like a scumbag. I felt like a sleazeball. I felt slimy, filthy, disgusting, all that shit, because I'm sitting here trying to achieve what I'm teaching by teaching it. And that was just ass backwards. And it didn't resonate with who I am as a person and what my integrity values are. You know what I'm saying? And so it was hard, but I pulled the plug on that, and I called myself out on Christmas Day of 2018. I share that post every time it comes around. Did it just this past year, and I'm going to do it again this year. I called myself out, and it was hard to do. It was because, our as humans, our biggest fear next to death is to be exiled from the tribe, because that's like so deeply rooted in us back into our primitive ages. But I didn't want to be looked at like that, but it was the right thing to do. But as soon as I said, man, dude, look, hey, I put this program out here because I wanted to succeed real bad, but here's the deal. I shouldn't be teaching this shit, even though it's a proven program. I haven't done this shit. I'm pulling the plug. I'm going back to the drawing board. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, but I'm going to keep putting my podcast out there and keep generating this affiliate income. And when I have a legitimate offer, I'm going to come back to the marketplace. This was Christmas Day, 2018. Did that. As soon as I did it, I just felt a huge weight off of my chest. I felt liberated. And I had so many people hit me. I'm like, dude, that was fucking awesome, man. A breath of fresh air. Much respect for that. And it was one of the smartest things I ever did. And then shortly after that, the next month, January, flew out to Marshall. And then we were told that story where I like, oh, podcast. And I put that out in March and then blew up. And good thing I did put myself out there. You know what I'm saying? But it was hard at the time.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. That takes a lot of guts from me, but I know there's a lot of people out there, especially in the funnel hackers community and all that stuff, man. I mean, I'm not saying anything against the funnel hackers. I know several of them that are I know several of them that are really great dudes. I know some of them that are kind of I wouldn't want to work with at all. And
there's a few solid ones. There's a few like Mariana Asanu, my dude. Josh 40, I fuck with Josh. Scott Marshall, that's my dude. There's a few others too that's not just coming right off the top of my mind. But most of them, you guys are fucking pathetic.
It's like you said, man. They're out there and they're trying to teach something that they don't even know yet. They're trying to push something that they're still trying to figure out themselves.
They're desperate as fuck.
Exactly, man. And that's part of like, we were talking a little bit before the show started about how when I first got into all this, I wanted to be in the digital marketing. I didn't know a damn thing about digital marketing. I'm sitting out here trying to tell everybody, well, yeah, you can do this, this, and this, and you'll make this amount of money. Well, I didn't really know that for sure because fuck, I'd never done that shit. So having the guts to actually call yourself out on that, man, that's a really cool thing, man. I think that's part of why I vibe with you so fucking much, man, because you're just that real motherfucker. You're an absolute, genuine article that I think a lot of the people in the entrepreneur space right now aren't. Especially with this whole COVID-19 coronavirus shit that's been going on. A lot more people have jumped into this whole industry saying, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And they're out there and they're pushing ClickFunnels, or they're out there and they're pushing whatever these different programs are. I know there's like 5 million different programs and things like that going on, and different courses left and right now. And they're out there pushing all this stuff, and probably 80% of them, 85% of them haven't even gone through the programs and the courses themselves. They don't know what the hell they're pushing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just desperate to make a few quick bucks. And some of them will. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are going to make some few quick bucks. Most of them are going to fall flat on their fucking face. And
there'll be a flash in the pan even if they do make a few bucks.
Yeah, you'll never hear from them again. Yeah. There might be one out of the million motherfuckers right now that you'll hear about again having any sort of success. But that's only if they take the quick success now and turn it over into long-term learning and growth from there.
Yep, exactly, dude. Like, dude, I've had people funnel hack my so desperate, like funnel hacking, like get the fuck out of here, just create your own shit, bro. But there's nothing wrong with, all right, let me be clear about this too. There's everything that's out there, like everything's already been created before, all right? So there's nothing original, all right? But what makes it original, there's a great book called Steal Like an Artist. And I feel like everybody in the internet marketing space should read that book. And you could read it in 15 minutes. It's a really small book. It's got like a sentence or two on each page, and there's like 50 pages. It's like really quick. It's like so quick you could read it. But it just teaches you like, hey, nothing's original, but what makes it original is when you take something from somebody, you learn it, all right, then you implement it yourself, and then you add yourself, your own little flavor to it, your own little style twist to it, a new fold, you know what I'm saying? But it's already, but it's just slightly different because now it's you and stuff. But I had somebody funnel hack my shit, go through, get my podcast roadmap, and then copy and paste that motherfucker. It's a copy and paste hustler, dude. They straight copy paste hustled me, dude.
Like didn't change anything about it, just like,
dude, use my 4 W's. That's what I call the long-term podcasting success, all that shit. And I give this shit away, and it's great. It's great, but they copy paste, and nobody else is calling it that. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You could at least like that, like this is blatant plagiarism right here, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, that's good, man, because it lets me know that, hey, my shit's hitting if somebody's gonna
Yeah.
come out and copy my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I like my rebuttal. I wanted to fucking go up, but it would only help that person if I said their name. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to help them, so I'm not going to fucking do that. But at the end of the day, though, dude, my lead magnets is better than these motherfuckers' paid courses.
There you go.
That's how you know you're winning. You got to have that mentality. And
There you
I'm
go.
not trying to sound like cocky or arrogant, but you got to be super confident in your shit, bro. And that's a mentality. If you're wanting to dominate your industry and be the very best at what you do, you got to go in there like, hey, man, I want to fucking put out lead magnets that are shitting on people's paid courses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And that's the first time I've heard anybody really say anything like that. I like the attitude you got behind that. I've kind of makes me start kind of get some gears turning in my head that I'm gonna have to sit down and write down later. All right, man. Kind of running a little bit short on time here, man. So I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions real quick, man. Just off the top of your head, give me your top 3 answers for each one. First one, best books for entrepreneurs to read, no matter what space they're in.
Yeah. Can I give 2 answers? Just 2 books recommendations?
Top 3.
Top 3. Okay. I had to think about the third one, but I always recommend these 2 books. Personal development, from a personal development side, you need A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I'm telling you, that book will transform your life. It doesn't have a couple gold nuggets in there. The whole book is transformational. It will literally, if you have read it, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And if you haven't read it, it will get you to look at life in a completely different way. I promise you. The dude he was in the Nazi death camps, watching his people die. It made my 5 years in prison look like a little day camp. And he found meaning in all of his suffering. And it's just a powerful book. So definitely that one. From a business perspective, get the book Traction by Gino Wickman. It'll teach you what a business really is. Because if so many of the beginner people, including myself, I didn't know this for so long. I didn't know it like teaches you the organizational structure of every business, and there is an organizational structure in every single business, whether you're a solopreneur or not. You in your business right now, if you have a business, you have a sales department, you have a marketing department, you have an operations department, you have a human resources department, a customer support department, all these different departments. You have that, even though it's just you and you're just wearing all those different hats. And then once you get to realize, like, oh shit, I'm not good at operations and finance, but I'm really good at CEO responsibilities. I need to find me an integrator to play these roles, but boom, I need to find this person to be my customer support. You know, it's and it goes deeper in that, but it's a really good book on business. And then third book is going to be by my favorite author, the person that if I could choose to be personally mentored by anybody in the world, it'd be Robert Greene. It'd be I'm rereading the 48 Laws of Power. I'd say his new book, The Laws of Human Nature, it's like 500 pages long. That shit's deep. But that or 48 Laws of Power, they're both really good.
All right, next question. Top 3 favorite guests you had on your podcast.
All right, I'll make this real quick because I forgot this was rapid fire. Robert Greene, the guy I was just mentioning. Andy Frisilla, we're bringing him back on in a couple weeks. And Bedros Killian.
All right. For all the visual learners out there who they don't really get much out of books, they have a hard time with books. They're really good with videos, movies. Top 3 movies, documentaries, whatever that you can recommend for entrepreneur learning.
I got to think about it because I'm not really big into into the video. Man. Because I usually read and do audio and then take notes and then do it and then teach it. I make videos, but I don't really watch many videos. Shit, dude. To learn.
I mean, it could be a Hollywood movie. It could be a documentary style movie. Because I ask this because personally myself, I can kind of get both worlds pretty good. I'm real good visual. I'm real good audio learner. I'm real good kinesthetic learner, reading books. So that's just been my jam for years. However, going through all this different change in myself and learning a lot about NLP, I've discovered that there are a lot of people out there who they cannot learn from books, no matter how hard they read them, how strong. And my brother is one of these people, man. He can read a book front to back, read every word of it perfectly. And if you ask him one question about the book, he don't have a fucking clue what he just read.
Yeah, so. True. I'd say I like the movie Steve Jobs movie. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite entrepreneurs. That was really good. His story and just the new. Oh, okay. The new Michael Jordan The Last Dance documentary. Oh my god, dude! Like
That was fucking good.
And dude, like he was even long after he was the alpha dog, he found ways to tap into his underdog mentality. Like he would find ways to find external motivation, like the dude when LeBradford Smith after the first playoff game said, "Nice game, Mike," and he came out and fucking dominated him the next day and dropped 37 on him in the first half or 36 on him in the first half. Dude, yes,
My favorite part about that was, come to find out, he never even said that. He made it all up in his head
in his
just so he
mind.
could go out and do it.
It didn't even happen. He just made it up that he said it to him, and then he made up external motivation just to do it. That's obsessive. That's an obsession with being legendary right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those two would be my recommendation.
All right. Top 3 podcasts you've been a guest on.
Ooh, the Dropping Bombs show with Brad Lee, Mike Dillard's the Mike Dillard show with Mike Dillard, and Tyler Jack Harris's show that I was just on recently.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Zach, man, thanks for coming on the show, man. Thanks for sharing all this awesome wisdom you got with yourself, man. I got one question kind of like you that I have to ask everybody at the end of the show, man. What is the one piece of advice you could give to somebody they're not really sure what they want to do. They're not really sure how to break free of that 9-to-5 slave life, but they know that day-to-day, wake up, go to work, come home, repeat cycle just isn't working for them anymore. They deep down, they know inside them that they have to break free and become their own boss, become their own legend, so to speak. What's that one piece of advice you could give to them to help them break that cycle?
Yeah, I love this question. And it would be this right here. I'm telling you, this will set you free. Number one, it doesn't start with why. As you get into the entrepreneurial world, you might hear like the fake wannabe life coaches say, start with your why. And because they're piggybacking off what Simon Sinek says, that he has a TED Talk and a book on it. But no, it doesn't start with why. And why is really not as important. It's important, but it's not as important as who. So you got to start with who. And then there's another thing before it. So first off, who are you? You got to know who you are. When I woke up in that jail cell missing out on my twin son's birth, I said, is this who I am? No, I'm not. I love my kids. I want to be in my kids' life. Why the fuck am I here right now? And like they got me to look at shit in a different way. And then I said, so I knew that I was who I was. I was a loving father. I was a good person. I wasn't just a fucking fuck up, right? And then so I said, well, what do I want? And so that's the second thing. What do I want? Get really clear, crystal clear. Not just like, oh, I want to be successful. What the fuck does that even mean? All right, you got to define what does success mean to you. And so the best way to do that is to write down, once you get clear on who you are, I am a winner. I am a loving father. I am a great husband. I am a successful entrepreneur. Like you get all that down, then you get clear on exactly what it is you want. Write all the things down in all the different areas. Your health, like, and it'd be like, oh, I want to live healthy, or I want to eat healthy and work out. That's not fucking clear enough. That's vague and it's not going to work. I got mine is I am 10% body fat, around 200 pounds, and fucking 6-pack shredded. Like that's a clear. I could see that. That's detailed, very descriptive. That's what I'm working towards. So I write down your health, relationships that you want with your wife or husband, your family, kids, business partners. Like if you want to build a big ass corporate building for your business, have that on write that down. The people you want to interview on your podcast, like everything you could think of, write it down. And then after you write it down, then build a visual dream board representation of all those things that you wrote down so that you see it all the time and it's crystal clear and you're always moving towards it. And then the third piece, after you get who am I, what do I want? Now, why is that important? The why comes last, and it's like a little cherry on top. It's not where you don't start with why. How can you start with why if you don't even know who the fuck you are and what you want? You got to know who you are and what you want before you can determine why it's important. Now, why, you got to build strong enough reasons why what you want is important to you. Because Motivation is bullshit. It's going to come and go. There's going to be days where you roll out of bed and you don't want to fucking you want to hit that snooze button. You don't want to roll up, go to fucking gym, write those fucking emails, go to work, none of that shit. You're just going to sit there and fucking cave in and be a soft motherfucker that day. You're not going to want to do the hard shit. But the why is what's going to help you power through the hard shit and become a hard motherfucker in the process. That's why the why is important, but you don't start with the why. And that if you get those three things dialed in, man, you're on fire. And then after you have that, here's another tool that you can use is to start visualizing what your life's going to look like right before you die, when you're on your deathbed, when you're reflecting on your life at the end of your days. It's game over, right? And you're just reflecting on your life. How are you going to feel looking back on your life, knowing that you didn't give it all you got? So for me, for an example, I could be at the end of my days looking back on life, and even if I didn't achieve all my goals, as long as I know that I did everything in my fucking power to make it happen, I'm cool. I'm peaceful. I'm happy. We're good. But if I look back and know that, oh man, I could have did more. I didn't give this all. I half-assed this. I'm going to feel like a piece of shit. I'm going to feel miserable. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And so if you do that, maybe that might help you get you to actually take action and make the shit a reality.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. I love that, man. I love the who, what, why, man. I think that's an amazing way to go. I think you're right, man. I think you're dead on, spot on with that. If you don't know who you are, how do you know what the hell you're doing or why you're even doing it?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't know who you are, how do you even know what you want? And if you don't know who you are and what you want, then how do you know why what you want is even important? Mm-hmm. It's just kind of logical. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Well, Zach, man, it's been an honor to have you here. The honor and a privilege, man. I look forward to listening to your next episode, man. I still got to catch up on the Bedros episode. It just dropped.
That Bedros one, people been telling me that motherfucker's been slapping.
That's what I'm hearing, man. That's what I'm hearing, and it's probably fixing to hop in my earphones here in just a little bit. So, man, I don't know what else you got going on the rest of the day, man, but have an amazing rest of the day, man. Go out there, dominate some more people, and man, I look forward to seeing everything you're coming out with. I do want to real quick. You're fixing to drop your new podcast program course, the Alpha Podcasting Association. Give us a little plug on that real quick, brother. Uh-oh. Are you there?
Yo, did it freeze up on you too?
Yeah, it did. I don't know what just happened there, brother.
Oh, right on it, pop back. It could be on my end. I apologize.
Anyways, yeah, real quick, man, let us know a little bit about your Alpha Podcast Association, how that's going to roll out, and what to expect out of that.
Right on, dude. Yeah, man, Alpha Podcast Association, we're launching it. It's going live. It's live now. The application process is. We've already received 17 applications since we launched it yesterday. Depending on the time when this goes out, it might already be filled up, might already be rocking. But it's going to be an ongoing thing, and it's only going to be open to 10 people. And if somebody drops out, then we'll add more people to it. But only 10 people at a time. But it's going to be a very specific kind of person. So with your audience, I might have other things that might be a better fit. But the Alpha Podcast Association is for somebody that's already making 10K or more in their business, more than likely. They're crushing it with their offer. They got their offer figured out. They're making money. They're an alpha motherfucker. Like, they're willing to do whatever it takes to win, to get that respect that they desire. They got this crazy vision in their head, and other people don't believe it's going to happen, but they don't care because they're going to figure it out because they're so driven, right? They know their who, what, and why. But they don't necessarily have a huge brand, or they might have somewhat of an audience, but their main focus is growing their audience through a top show podcast. And also they know by growing a huge audience, it's going to directly impact their bottom line, their business. So that's what Alpha Podcasting is for. You can go check it out. It's alphapodcasting.com and fill out an app and then book a call. But the call may or may not happen. If we're filled up, we'll just put you on the waiting list. If the call is going to happen, we'll reach out before that appointment that you booked to let you know that it's a go. But I appreciate you asking me about it, my man.
Awesome, man. Everybody's out there listening. If you haven't heard Zachary Babcock before, you're missing out. He's a hell of a guy. Got a hell of a show. Check it out on underdogempowerment.com. Go on to Apple iTunes, Underdog Empowerment. Zach, man, Have a great day, brother.
Dude, Sean, this has been a blast, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Man, thanks for coming on. And like I said, man, thanks for making this happen again. We had this schedule once before, and you've been an amazing guy to come back on the show and make it happen once again. So have a great rest of the day, man, and I'll holler at you next time. And for everybody out there listening, keep your signals tuned in right here, and I'll see you next time right here on the Getting Started podcast.
Let's go.